Hi, Chris Paff with Chris Paff Tech Media LLC, here in the fabulous Blue Room at the Gamle Logen, and I'm here with Marius Haugen, who's the CTO of Telia. No stranger to this audience here at Northern Waves. Welcome, Marius.
No, thank you. I think it's the 4th or 5th time I'm here. So
oh, really?
Yeah.
You're an old timer.
Yeah.
I think they give you actually a red jacket when you hit 5 times. So this might be your day.
I hope so.
Yeah, and you're on a panel that ends the day, right? So,
yep.
Yeah.
I've been on that panel every year since the start of the conference.
And what is the panel? What's the topic and what's the sort of the vibe?
I think it's, well, I haven't reviewed the question yet, really, but it's usually a debate between, you know, the bigger players in the industry. So it will be us and Telenor, Alente, NRK.
So four very powerful entities in the Nordics debating about the future of streaming and broadcasting and who's going to take share from who, right?
Yeah, well, we're going to take share from everyone, of course.
See, there we go. Yeah, there's the Brit in you coming out. Yeah, exactly. I love that. That's great. That's great. So yes, so you have been here. You are a veteran of Northern Waves. But also, in many respects, you're in this interesting position that is I think, very particular to the Nordics with a carrier that is in the service creation business and has done very well in the video product space. And you're the CTO. So you answer to a lot of people, but you also are in the position of being, in some respects, a maestro and orchestrator. Talk about how you've evolved and how the business has evolved as well, and where we are today in the so-called post-streaming war era.
Yeah, that's a big question. So I guess for the first 2 conferences I was here, I was in Get, which was acquired by Telia. So I came from the Norwegian side from the start. Although now I have a little bit of a broader responsibility. This is my home market, if you will. Mm-hmm. But I think kind of a defining feature about Norway is that we have been, rather than competing with the likes of Netflix and HBO and everyone, we have been embracing them and kind of putting them into the service rather than saying, no, we're a classical cable operator and stuff like that. So we haven't, in my mind, been so exposed to the trends that you see in the US and in kind of industry media about cord cutters and those things that at least 10 years ago were frontline news. So rather than that, I think we have seen some drop off, and we have seen a large fragmentation of the industry. In broadcasters making their own apps and doing direct to consumer offerings. But I haven't seen that kind of scarecrow that everyone was talking about 10 years ago, which is just everything is going to go completely to hell for the operators and they'll have no business left. So I think we have been reinventing ourselves into the aggregator position, which is what is today. And I think that is the future for us, being in that and
It's really serving the customer then, essentially.
Of course, yeah, no, sure, and we were competing through user experience and through bundling, pretty much.
Well, and that leads me to my next question, which is really like this idea of the bundle being back, and particularly in some regions is a defensive posture. But the idea that there may be ways to be more flexible given what you have, whether it's addressable ad technology or AI or other ways to serve the customer and also at the right price. No, I think there's many aspects to it. It's flexibility inside of the service. In some markets we apply a point systems, for instance, that you can select your content providers at any time. In all markets, we also do bundling between services. So you have
offer for having a cheap included broadband with your TV services. Some markets we also have that with mobile. So and obviously the larger you are, the better content prices you get. So yeah.
Well, that's of course something that we see in other markets, but you've had an enormous impact on this market over the years, and not to talk about other operators. It is fascinating to me to see how you've really expanded, and talk about that if you can.
Yeah. Well, we are in 7 markets now, so I think we might be the only one to be able to say that in our region at least. Right. We will be in 6 because we just sold Denmark to Jacob, if you saw the last talk. But yeah, scale is important. Sweden is obviously the core, but after the acquisition of Get, then Norway is a good second. There's the Bonnier group, which was acquired some years ago, which added some broadcasters into the mix, which isn't organized by me, but it's certainly a strength of the group to have that included, and the content deals that goes between there. So yeah, I think there is a lot of innovation in that, but in the scale and in the packaging of our services.
Yeah, and what are you looking toward in the next year? Are there things on your roadmap, whether it's technology or just things on the service creation side that affect your purview as a CTO?
There certainly is, but I think we are kind of going from. If you asked me that 5 years ago, I would say that the technology landscape is really changing. There's a lot of new operating systems coming in, connected TVs. Android TV wasn't even a big thing. Now it's everywhere. But I feel now that we have kind of settled on a new plateau, if you will, inside of the industry. The technology is known. Now it's more refining it and making it better. Generative AI might be one of the next kind of things to drive our industry forward, both in the content space, of course, which is very interesting, but also in how we utilize it for UIs and how we can use it to improve metadata and imagery.
Yeah, and who knows? I mean, depending on what works with the consumer. One of the things I'd be remiss in talking about, of course, is the fact that the networks are so strong here in the Nordics. And is 5G a complement to what you're doing?
Oh, certainly. It increases delivery capacity, right? So if that allows us to drive more data and more video, so better quality video. Yeah, of course.
That's great. This has been fascinating. I could talk to you for a very long time, and I really look forward to your panel because I hope it's going to be spirited.
I hope so too.
I'm sure it will. Marius Haugen, CTO of Telia. Thank you, Marius.